Good day, good people, and welcome to Whiskey and Smoke News Network, your weekly whiskey, cigar, pipe, and pipe tobacco program, where we cover the news, new releases, upcoming events, and we throw in an interview with someone in the industry or someone who is industry adjacent for good measure. We may sometimes get a bit cheeky, we may even at times get a bit scholarly, but providing you with some entertaining content for the next hour or so is our ultimate goal. With all that being said, please remember that you must be the appropriate age in your home country to watch or listen to this program, which is usually 18 or 21 years old. So if you're not of the appropriate age in your home country, please stop watching or listening to the program now. But please do come back to the program when you are of the appropriate age. This is episode 20 for May 10th, 2026. My name is Chris Kumnick, and I will be your host. Now, on a programming note, I am traveling for work these next few weeks, so the upcoming episodes will be news, new release, and event free. So, if during my travels I will attempt to do some remote short radios I think you'll find interesting. But until then, please enjoy the episodes that we have scheduled to release with interviews only while I'm away. So please enjoy. Now, we're going to move on to our Torch the Vitola in-depth interview of the week with Mr. David Garofalo, the legend, the author, the podcaster, and the owner of Two Guys Cigars. We cover his career before cigars, the books he's written, state of the cigar industry, and whether the tobacco today is the best we've ever been able to smoke and or the manufacturers are if it's the best they've ever produced. So sit back, grab a dram, pour that glass, pick out a good stick, torch it up, grab your favorite pipe, pack the bowl with your favorite tobacco, and light away, then listen to the interview. Please enjoy. All right, we are here today with David Garofalo at the 2026 PCA Convention and Trade Show.
I think I'll become a trivia question for your show years from now.
Yeah.
Because this is your first trade show.
Yes.
And the doors just opened.
Yes.
Therefore, I am your first ever interview.
You are.
And this is a trivia question. Years later,
yes,
this will be a trivia question.
That is exactly who was my very first interview at my very first PCA
there
convention.
There we go. There it is in me.
And it's David Garofalo. So thank you again.
Thank you.
No,
thank
you for giving me some time.
An honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So, I don't know if it's self-proclaimed, but people call you the cigar authority.
It is self-proclaimed.
Okay.
And it was the funniest thing. 16 years ago when I did the Cigar Authority podcast, I started it. I was reading a book on social media, and the social media book is saying if you want to you should do a podcast and become the authority on the subject. So I said, the Cigar Authority.
Yeah.
And I own Two Guys Smoke Shop also, and it was me and a buddy of mine that started out, and I said, well, we're two guys opening a smoke shop, Two Guys Smoke Shop, so this is how my mind works. It's very simplistic of what happens here, so not a lot into it.
Yes, exactly. Very cool. Okay, so you're also, according to what I rate on Google, highest volume independently owned, operated brick-and-mortar retail shop in the world.
I believe it. I believe so. And again, it's a lot of years doing it.
And that's Two Guys Cigars.
Yes.
Out of New Hampshire.
New Hampshire,
yes.
Right. 3 stores in New Hampshire.
Yes.
And we are cigars. That's all. It's an exclusive thing.
Okay.
If you're coming for the best cigar lounge in the world, it's not us. If you're coming for an unbelievable cocktail selection, it's not us. It's not us. Pipes, no. Cigarettes, no. It's just cigars. So that's what we concentrated on for 41 years. That's what we do, and I think we do it really good.
Yep.
And with that is customers from all of New England that actually draw. It sometimes even fly. Sure. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you had an interesting past that I did a little research on.
Oh God!
Exactly. So
want to see how far?
No. This is all off of your website, so it's all good. So. Cable Car Diner.
Yes,
that started if I read it correctly, directly after high school.
While I was in high school.
While you were in high school.
Yeah.
Cable Car Diner.
So it was school vacation.
Okay.
And the lady that worked at this Cable Car Diner wanted to take her daughter to Disney. And she said, will I fill in for her? And I said, well, what do I do? And she says, just take the order, hand it to the guy, and then give him the bill. It's not a big thing. And I said, okay. So after a couple of days working there, the guy that owned it was miserable. And I said, why do you do this? You're so miserable. Well, I inherited from my mother. That was years and years into it. And I said, you should just sell it and do something you love, because imagine doing this the rest of your life. And he wasn't that old at the time. And he goes, how will I end up doing that? What will I do? And I said, sell the company. He goes, what's it worth? And I kind of said, it's 2 times what you normally earn. And he said, I'd take that. And I said, well, I'd like to buy it. He said, are you serious? And I said, I'm serious. Yes. And I said, there's one problem. I don't have any money. And he goes, why would you say this to me? And I go, I got an idea. And the idea was, I will pay you twice what you're getting paid now, every single week for 52 weeks. Yes. And incorporated in there was a little extra, which is interest on your loan. And if I miss a payment, one payment, maybe 51 weeks in, and I won't. But if I do, you just take it back.
Yeah, exactly.
So he goes, well, I got nothing to lose. And I said, you have a vacation for a year.
Exactly.
And you got twice the pay you normally would get. Yes. So he said, let's do it. And I remember going home to my parents, and they go, how was work today? Day 3 of my job. And I go, I bought the diner. And they're like, what? But that's how it all started.
I love that. I mean, I love stories like that, truly. It's very, very, very neat. So, okay. So then you go on to be a nightclub owner. You sell the diner. Well, according to your website,
I turned barrooms into discotheques. So now you got to go into the timeline where this is. So this is late 70s, early 80s.
Right, the boom of disco.
So I would go into a barroom, and there'd be a guy sitting at the end of the bar holding his head up and with a beer, and I go up to the bartender, are you the owner? He goes, yeah. And I go, what do you charge for cover charge in here? And he goes, cover charge? And I said, yeah. And he goes, no cover charge. And I'm like, wow, even on weekends? And he said, no. And I said, how about I come in, I set up a DJ thing 5 nights a week. Okay. And you start charging cover charge. You make more money than what you pay me. And the guy said, I don't know. And I go, how about I do this weekend for free? And we'll see how it works. And if it does good, you give me 5 nights a week. And he goes, you want to work this weekend for free? I said, yeah. And he said, okay. I said, well, I got a truck back by your back door. I'm going to need to start unloading now because it's going to take me all week to set it up. Because I set it up like I was going to stay there forever. Yeah, exactly. Which is what I did. Yeah. And I did it to 7 clubs. Wow. And I would get guys to work it. It was all my sound, my lights. Okay. And I built a really good business. And the problem that happened in those days was in those years that happened. Very good, thank you. In those years that I did this, which was 12 years, my audience stayed the same age. I got older, and the audience stayed the same age. So I said, okay, I'm going to age out of this thing. Right. Let me open a little cigar store in the daytime. Yes. And I had that going and the nightclub going for about 3.5 years, both. Right. And I loved the cigar business. Sure. And I said, if I can only make enough money, but honestly, I was losing money. I was taking the money I was making from the clubs, dumping it into my business. But like any good business, it takes years to build. Right. So I was doing that for a while. As it built up, we went from there and opened 3 stores in Massachusetts and 3 stores in New Hampshire, and it was great.
Very good. You can say hello.
Yeah, this said I should meet you since we never met before.
That's right.
I can edit all this, so no worries at all. If you need to say hello, all right, we're good to go. That's the beauty of video, right? You can pause it and cut it and do all kinds of. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you got your cigar shop. You've been doing that since literally the late 70s also?
No, 1985.
1985. Okay, that's right. You were doing the nightclubs from
78
to the 12 years. Okay, got it. But there was a little bit of overlap, like you said.
Yes, about 3.5 years of both, which was very tough. Yeah. And when I did give it up, when I did give the nightclub business up, I was able to give 100% attention to the cigar business. Yeah. And it was just like I turned the light switch. All of a sudden, the business I'm like, okay. Staying out till 2 o'clock in the morning and open up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And that was after a few years of, I was young, but relatively no sleep.
Exactly. That puts a toll.
Yeah.
There is a toll that is you're paying for.
I paid the toll, and as I'm older now, I can feel it.
Yes. Exactly. Okay. Cigar shop. Author.
Yeah.
One? Is there only one book, or is there more?
There's a new one that comes out.
Okay, I was literally going to ask you if
July
there's a new book coming
29th.
out. Okay, very good.
Not July, August.
August 29th. Okay.
I'm sorry. What is this? This is April. April 29th.
Okay, so this month.
Which is my grandson's birthday.
Yeah.
And the last book I did was David vs. Goliath, how to compete and beat the online giants. This is for all retail.
Yes.
And, everybody complains that online, well, you got to be different. You got to come up with creative things to drive people into brick and mortar. I'm trying to help all brick and mortars. But honestly, it's 41 years in the cigar business. So where are these things coming from? They're coming from the cigar industry. So if you're a cigar shop owner, I mean, this is direct target to you. This is basically giving you everything that
like a playbook,
success stuff.
Yes,
it's only the winners. And I heard from people after I put that book out, and they go, "Wow, everything you get turns to gold. You don't make any mistakes." And I said, "Oh no, that is not true at all." I said, "I'm at bat more often than others, but I make more mistakes than I certainly have winners. But I learned from my mistakes." So the new book is "Don't Burn Your Hand on the Stove: Lessons in Life and Business."
Okay.
And what people do is, and this was interesting, that I went to a restaurant with some friends, and the waiter comes out, and we all ordered the same thing, and it was like a sizzling hot steak on the plate. And the waiter comes out with the 4 plates and puts it down. The book was already done. I had a different title to it, which was Mistakes.
Yeah.
And he put the plate down and said, "The plate's very hot, be careful." And the first guy touched the plate. And he pulled back and he looked at his hand because he was seeing if there was a mark in the hand, that's how hot it was.
Yes.
And then the second guy touched the plate after he saw the first guy do it. And I said, "Hold on a second.
Just to see
what just happened." And, "Oh, no." I said, "Do you think the guy was lying to you?" And he says, "No, I just want to see how hot it was." I said,
"Oh, how hot?"
And I said, "How about you? You just saw him burn his hand. Why did you do it?" "I don't know." Like, they didn't even want to talk about it. I said, "This is important because I think I changed the name of the book."
Yeah.
Which is Learn from My Mistakes.
Yes. Yeah.
Or learn from his mistakes or other people's mistakes.
Correct.
Why do we have to do that? And I don't know what the psychology of what that is, and maybe a psychiatrist is going to read the book and tell me what happens, but it's not me. If I see you get hurt, I'm not going to do it.
Well, maybe it's an ego thing where they think, "Oh, well, I know better."
Wow.
Maybe, I don't know.
And well, there's a whole bunch of them, and I think this one will be controversial because people are going to say, "No, this is okay for me." A girl that works for me say, "Can I read the book?" It hadn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
And I said, "Sure." And she looked at it. She made me 2 pages of things that were wrong in the book.
Yeah.
Not of corrected, but you shouldn't say this. This is not true, and all this stuff. And you should take this out of the book.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm absolutely not taking it out of the book.
Right.
You're 27 years old.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah.
And you're going to look at this book 40 years from now and
go,
read it again.
Yes.
This is one you got to read when you're young and then read it again when you're old. And you'll see these are, I listen to older people, and there is something to that. They've been around longer. That's all.
Yeah.
So that's the book. And it'll be out on the April 29th, which is my grandson's birthday.
Literally, today's the 19th, right? So, or 18th? 18th today. So,
11 days.
11 days.
11 days.
There you go.
So, it's my grandson's birthday, and that's
where's it going to be available?
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everything.
And I'm probably online in your shop. Yeah. Okay.
DavidGarofalo.com is a site that I have where I put the 3 books that I have so far. And, not that I don't have enough going on, but as I'm getting older, I'm like, I need to get this information out to you. Whether anybody cares or not, I need to do it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Totally. Okay, so obviously, podcaster too. Been doing it a long time.
Yeah, podcast 2010. What's a podcast? That's what people used to say in 2010.
Yeah.
And I would show them on their phone, this is how to get it.
Yeah.
And thankfully, those days are gone. Everybody understands what it is now.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, in those days, and both people that listened, and it was really, whatever.
The tens of people that listened at the beginning, right? Yeah.
And it built on itself.
Yes.
COVID came in and I think opened the door to podcasting. And
definitely.
It had terrible things. COVID was terrible in a lot of ways. But podcasting, I think, Zoom, all the different things that happened.
Made a lot of things easier.
And, all the Cigar Authority is about escalating the whole cigar industry. That's United Cigar, with the United Cigar Booth, escalate the cigar industry. And even I write the books, and some manufacturers said to me, why do you give your competitors all the answers to what it is? Because rising tides raise all ships.
And it does. I agree with that 100%. You know, I've noticed, so obviously, you know, I covered whiskey and cigars and pipes and pipe tobacco. And inevitably, you know, I mean, obviously the sales guys, they're always going to be in competition. But beyond that, you go to the production or, you know, the retail guys such as yourself, you're so open and welcoming and so helpful. If somebody needed help, you would help them. I mean, and just, again, as your books are examples of that.
And I'm on all aspects of... How are you?
Good.
Very good.
Books. Yeah, I know. No, so the industry's so welcoming, and you know, and people will help each other.
So I want to know what they go through with manufacturers. I'm a retailer, and I want to know what manufacturers and brand owners have to go through. So I became one, so that I could put their hat on and live through that. The same with cigar media. I became one.
Right.
I have every part of this, because I actually want to know their side of the thing too. And there's issues with all of them, and I wear every hat to end up being good at everything. And I want to be a good buyer for a manufacturer. I want to be a good partner, basically, with them. And I know both sides. And then the other side is I have United Cigar, and here's the retailer. I know what their problems are.
Exactly.
And I can understand it because I'm one of you too.
Yeah. And then I would imagine, I'm sad to say I have not listened, so I apologize, but you also are part of the Ash Holes?
Yes.
Or is that still an ongoing thing? Or
so the Ash Holes came about because I had the Cigar Authority going, and my staff said to me, we want to do this. Let us have our own show. So I said, have your own show. So it started off with 3 of my employees, and they're doing the show. And then one of them is off to go, see other retailers.
Sure.
Another guy ends up leaving after a while, and then another guy jumps in, another girl jumps in.
Okay.
And as time went on, and the studio is directly across from my office.
Right.
And here I am, and they got stuck a bunch of times.
Sure.
And said,
so you just come over.
Can you just jump in? I go, okay. And I jump in. It's better when you're there. And I said, yeah, but I don't want to do this. And then it became, I've probably been on it a year and a half straight now at this point. And I said, okay, but if somebody wants to do it, I'm an asshole, and if somebody, one of my employees wants to take my spot, please do.
Please do.
Because I do the Cigar Authority. Then we do the after show, and there was Skip Martin who just walked by.
Yeah.
He was on the show once on the Cigar Authority, and after the show was over, we sat there, and there was an audience, and we started talking, and he goes, now this is the show.
Right,
After the show, he goes, this is the show.
Yeah.
I would buy an ad on this show, and as an entrepreneur, I said, okay.
Yeah, please. Where do you sign?
I said, okay, here it is. So there's a new show, and I started that. And after it was over, I go, I get over the head. I need to do a show after a 2-hour show. I'm going to do another show. And now it's the Ash Holes. And
got it. Okay.
At breakfast this morning, somebody came up with an idea and said, hey, what about this? And behind the scenes type of thing or whatever. And I'm like, it's a great idea. I do not need this, but I may have to do it because it's a great idea. I don't know. We'll see.
Exactly. Okay. I love it. Truly love it. Okay. Now there's some questions that you got to get a little philosophical on. Okay. So, with your entrepreneurial spirit in mind, do you think that now is a good time to get into cigars as a manufacturer and or retailer?
Interesting. I see a decline in Q4 last year. Having 3 different stores, I can watch all of them. I do online also, so I can look at that. Again, every aspect. I can see production numbers that come into the U.S., and those numbers were down too. But I've been through this cycle 3 times already, so I can see this. Oh my God, I read this book before. I know exactly what happens. It doesn't last
Don't touch
long.
the hot plate.
You're right. And it doesn't last long because Q1 was bad also. So we're through a 6-month thing. It's interesting. It's day 1 of the trade show to see what ends up happening here. But it's not quite over. But then again, there is Cuba. right around the corner.
Yes.
I was listening to the news today. It looks like, they're just about ripe for the picking, and that could change everything. Can you imagine? Not that we're going to sell lots of Cuban cigars, because there isn't all that many Cuban cigars, but the attention to cigars.
Correct.
And somebody tries a Cuban and says, let me try what a Nicaraguan is, a Dominican, a Costa Rican. And, oh, my God. And this is how the 1990s boom happened, which was TV, sitcoms, and talk shows and people lighting up. And then everybody did. So I'm like, okay, again, here's the crystal ball. I've seen this before. So I think huge days are coming up. I don't think it's tomorrow, but a company isn't built. Like I told you, I lost money for 3 years. So, you get in now and you start building your thing. Oh, long game. 41 years.
Exactly. Well, but I mean, even just if you want to get into it, you got to think probably 10-year period.
Sure.
Minimum. Would you agree? Because I know even in the spirits industry, especially if you're a distiller, that's minimum what you have to be thinking of.
And the liquor industry is going through the same right now.
Oh, well, probably
worse.
Oh, but much worse. I mean,
but,
truly.
Again, these cycles happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Correct.
So,
get through COVID. So, if you, I'll get a little. If you actually look at the growth curve of spirits and take out COVID, that was this meteoric rise. It's actually right where we are right now is where we should have been without the spike.
That might be the same on the cigar industry because we were shut down for a little while, and it was only you come up and curbside service they call it, whatever, and after that opened up, we were so down, I said, we're never making this up. We made it up plus a whole bunch.
Exactly.
That was I never saw that coming, that's for sure. Funny people calling me up and say, Dave, what do we do here? What happens? I go, well, I never seen a pandemic before.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
I was not around in 1918 when the exactly.
But I would know what to do next time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So you think if you're in it for a long game, maybe a good time to get in? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, listen, I got in 85, which they tell me was the worst possible time.
True.
It was dropping us about 6% per year, the whole industry. And by the time 1990 came along, I was 5 years in. Yeah. And I knew what to do.
Sure. Yeah.
And okay. And I don't think we're 5 years away from them. We might be 5 months away from
Correct.
them. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, do you think that the tobacco that we're smoking and that they're growing now is the best that we've ever seen?
I know it is.
Okay. You've been in it a long time, so you're a great person to ask that question.
Agricultural-wise, this industry has developed unbelievable drip irrigation, cross-pollination, all the different things that happen with it, and the flavors of tobacco that come out and the strength that can produce. You go back into the 90s, the boom of the cigars were the worst.
Okay.
They were better before,
yes,
and then they were worse during the boom time. So if you were one of those people that smoked cigars during the boom and then you said, I don't like it anymore.
That's when I started smoking.
You should go back now because it's way better.
They're amazing now, truly.
And here I am at a trade show buying cigars for that side of my company, and everything's good. I have to decide of everything good, what's the best of that in that category or whatever, which is very difficult. Back in the days when cigars were terrible, you'd go up to a booth and have a good cigar and you go, oh my God, this is a good cigar.
Exactly.
Tom, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are
very
you?
Good, very good.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It took a few years, you know,
Yes.
but finally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
have a great show.
No worries. Okay. So, well, that being said, do you think that, again, with technology that they're doing and all these different things, it's probably still going to continue to get better even?
Sure.
Would you agree with that?
I don't know that side of it very well. That's one thing I didn't say is, what, I want to be a farmer. And, No, I'm good. Jeff Borshowitz from Corona, congratulations to him that he ended up, I go, I've done it all, but that, getting on the tractor is not one of the things. Maybe when I was younger.
Sure.
But
you're in the know. I mean, you know that they're continuing to push the boundary on different blends and different. What am I trying to say? Strains of tobacco. I mean, yes, right.
I tasted tobacco from India.
Yeah.
And maybe 5 years ago, I tasted it and I go, it's not bad.
It's not
And
there
then last year, and I tasted it every year. Last year, I go, It's really good. It's not just good.
Yeah.
It's really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I haven't yet to find a cigar that's using it yet.
Okay.
But it was exceptional.
Wow.
And here's a tobacco that's never been used before.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm very interested in that. Here's a whole new ingredient that
Exactly.
we've never used
Correct.
before.
Yeah.
And with Cuba, if Cuba ends up lifting,
Yes.
can you imagine blends with, get a Padron using a Cuban wrapper or a Toro Fuente using a Cuban binder or some different blend, another ingredient.
Yes.
And then they go to the stratosphere at this point. So if you think it's over, no, the combinations are endless.
So speaking of Cuba, and again, I hope it does. I hope they open up and let it, I think there will be just the cigar industry alone, a lot of investment in Cuba.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, and maybe you can school me a little bit, they'll need that investment because they really have not, I don't want to be, okay, I'm just going to say it. I don't care. They haven't been taking care of the land.
No.
So they'll need to almost kind of go back in and...
I look at it as like the Department of Motor Vehicles. Like it never improves. They're government workers that don't care, right?
Right, yeah.
And that's the country of Cuba. They're nice people.
Yes.
But they're going to get $2 a week.
No matter
that's what they're going to get. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it. And plus they're missing agricultural things. They don't have things to put in the soil.
Correct.
And all this. So that's gone too.
Right.
So it's not going to be the day after and then plant the seed and say, oh, look how great the tobacco is. They got to work that ground. So another 3-4 years.
Sure. Yeah.
And then start saying, okay, now we have it. And then it'll be the people that make cigars now that I believe are going to jump there. It's not going to be
that's my point.
Yes.
I think you'll see some of the families.
Yes.
Maybe go back in and put some money into it, I would imagine. So, no, that...
And look how close it is.
I know. Exactly right, yes. I mean, that's
it's a puddle jump.
I was going to say, like a half-hour, 45-minute flight from Miami, so... Oh, no worries. All good. It's video. I can edit it. It's all good, man.
I'll come by and see you.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Thank you for that answer. So, okay. You're buying for your stores. What new releases are you most looking forward to here at the show?
So I'm directly across from Crux I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
And they have Marblehead Maduro, which I did have a sample of already.
Okay.
The whole Marblehead line.
The latest one was just amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
And the price.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I like the price.
You got McAuliffe again.
Yep.
So we're in an economy thing. So maybe during COVID, I was looking at $20 cigars and I want to bring more of those in because people were saying, oh, I want to have the best or whatever. Nowadays, things are tough, and the light switches changes for me, and I'm looking for value.
Yes.
So with McAuliffe, they have the McAuliffe White, the whole color series, but they also have a bundle series coming out. I haven't even seen it yet, but we're talking $5 cigars.
Right, the ones where they're using all the cuttings for all the other colors.
Yes. So I'm dying to try it. If it's good, I'm in there too.
Got
so I'm looking for value. I have plenty of $20 cigars from last year that I bought left over.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not looking for lots more of that. I know most manufacturers, I'm going to like hearing it as I go there, but this is not where we are today.
Yeah, right.
And in fairness to them, they started working on that cigar 3 years ago.
Exactly.
So here it is here. Timing is bad.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. Maybe 6 months from now it turns around and that changes.
Yes.
So we'll see as that happens.
But that's the nature of this game. I mean, I mean, but that's the thing. They have to
Timing
continue
is everything.
They have to continue making because they can't have a drop off all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden, like you said, then the economy comes back up and now they're without.
Yes.
They can't do that. So, I mean, it's the same in the spirits industry, too.
Yeah.
Same in the spirits industry. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you drink any whiskey?
Not much.
Not much.
No, I'm not a drinker.
So if you don't, I have a follow-up. So
all right.
What is your favorite thing to drink? It doesn't have to be any spirit.
So last night I had an old-fashioned.
Okay.
Which if I go to something, it's there because there's some sweetness to it or whatever there is. But I'm a coffee drinker. Big time.
Do you like the do you just like coffee or
yeah,
do
just
you like
black coffee?
Black coffee. Okay.
But it's all different.
Sure.
Just like cigars.
Absolutely.
There's good coffee and there's okay coffee.
Right.
I don't know if there's bad coffee. It's like pizza, right?
Right.
But there's exceptional coffee.
Yes.
But it's sparkling water, iced teas, like that.
Gotcha.
Not a lot of cocktails. It's never been my thing.
Okay.
Again, I was in the nightclub business all those years.
Yeah.
Even as the disc jockey, they would let me drink. And, like any young guy or something, I did it then, and it wasn't the good stuff.
Yes.
You know, it was from a young kid.
Oh, yeah.
It was the crappy stuff, but to each
Well, it was whatever's on the rail, right?
Yes, right.
Very cool. Okay. Let's see. Also, have you ever smoked a pipe?
I have, because when we started Two Guys, we started with everything.
Yeah.
Pipes was in the 80s was
Still
probably 15% of my business.
Yeah.
And honestly, there was money in pipe tobacco. You'd be at your weigh-in, it was by the ounce, and that's where the money was. It wasn't until 1990 where a manufacturer comes in with good margin.
Right.
And as soon as the good margin came in, and this was with boutique brands, by the way,
Sure.
because the big guys, some of them still never gave us fair margin. When they ended up coming in, I'm like, okay, if I really get behind these cigar things, I can make it.
Yes.
So that's what I ended up doing. So it came
I
to margin. When it came to pipes, that customer got older and became less and less. And many times we said, okay, let's bring pipes back, and we tried.
No, I know. It's a tough. I mean, it's grown a bit even in the last, I'd say, 15 years, but. I mean,
this trade show
it used to be
aisles.
I was going to say, it used to be pipe shops that had a little bit of cigars.
Yes.
Now it's cigar shops that have a little bit of pipe stuff.
Yeah.
There are still a few holdouts in the country.
And then there's people making cigars with pipe tobacco in them.
That's true. Yeah,
Soccer's got a whole bunch, right?
Exactly, yes.
5 new ones coming.
Exactly.
I'm like, Steve, really? 5 new whatever? Hey.
Exactly. Okay. Do you any trends that you see coming that you recognize? I mean, as far as trends, not in business, but as in kinds of cigars, different things like that.
Well, I see this show is as I see new releases. And again, I haven't walked the show. This is just opened minutes ago.
Exactly.
A lot of people talking about small cigars.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of that's there. Interesting. I don't see it on the retail end of customers coming in and asking for it. We just got through a tough winter, which small cigars would have been great because it was a real rough winter that ended up happening. But the consumer is still buying 60 ring gauges.
Yeah.
I never would have believed it.
Right.
That it has not slowed down. People are saying, well, the big ring gauge thing slowed down. Not in my store.
Right.
Not online to me. 3 different stores and online. And, the silence and stuff are rocking.
Right.
So can it go the other way? I don't know. I'll look at it. I'll try something.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. But somebody sees something I don't see yet.
Okay. Last question. Do you get out your little magic wand?
Yeah.
Are there any trends that you would love to see come back?
The torpedo.
Yeah.
A shaped cigar.
Shaped cigars.
It is the best rollers that make that cigar.
Yeah.
The workmanship that goes into it. When the boom started, that was the one everybody wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted torpedoes and things like that. It went away and it went more to Gordos. I'm sure Gordos outsell a torpedo 2-1. On certain brands, their torpedo is the best of the, and people don't go to it. Perdomo's a perfect example. His torpedo, you can poke somebody's eye out with it. That point that's on it is unbelievable. He makes Garofalo for us too. We have the torpedo. Okay. Torpedo doesn't sell all that well. And somebody says, which one should I try? And I say, you should try the torpedo. And they go, really? And they don't want to do it or whatever. The torpedo is exceptional on everybody's brand usually. It's the best of the best of what it is. But look at a torpedo, a 6x50 torpedo, let's say, and the Toro.
Yes.
The torpedo costs more.
Right.
It's the workmanship.
It's the workmanship. Exactly.
So they're looking at it and saying, I'm not cut the end off anyway. And so therefore value, which is where we are right now, is torpedo doesn't make sense. I'm getting the Toro instead, which is the #1 seller. Mm-hmm. And look at the torpedo. It's interesting on some cigars that, if you don't want a big ring gauge in your mouth, you go to a torpedo and you decide what the ring gauge is that there. It's a great thing, and it seemed to go away, and I see less and less people even making them now because they don't sell so well. And to the ones that are out there, it's usually their best Vitola that they have.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, David, thank you for taking some time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much.
All right, Chris, thank you.
And when I'm up in New Hampshire,
Please.
I would love to stop by and give you a heads up.
All right.
And maybe I can come on and
Yes.
I would love to
Beautiful.
be your North Texas guy.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
be
you.
good. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you.
I want to thank the one and only David Garofalo for taking some time and standing with me at the PCA show for a nice in-depth interview of a wide range of topics. He's such a gentleman, and I feel very, very lucky to have gotten him to be my very first interview at my very first PCA show, and hopefully many more to come, but I appreciate David for taking the time. Thank you. Now, as always, I want to thank you for joining me in this amazing journey to learn all that I can about these three amazing industries. I hope that you were able to learn something new from the episode, but more importantly, I hope that you were entertained and will continue to listen and or watch the program moving forward. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video, leave comments. Please leave comments, and please spread the word to your friends and family. I will always love having new followers. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. If you wouldn't mind, please also leave a review where you can, as it helps the algorithms help other people find the channel. Also, please let me know if you have any ideas of items or topics you'd like me to cover in upcoming episodes, and I'll see what I can conjure up for you. I will see you next week on the Whiskey and Smoke News Network, and remember, please drink and smoke responsibly. Have a great day.